He's in your head and in your house and in
your pants.
It's like in your vagina.
In your pants or your vagina or whatever, Tedros. That's all I can say.
Tedros is Tedros, while Tedros be Tedros.
If y'all don't know what that means, then you don't watch 9 Nerd Yards, and you should, because you should go over there, because we're over there, and we like it, and it's a good channel, and I don't know, this is a good channel too.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on all over YouTube, but mostly
Hot Nerd Summer.
Nerd Yards.
Hot Nerd Summer.
Hot Nerd Summer.
I'm ready for it. Who's ready for it? I'm ready for it. Who's ready for it? I'm ready for it. Who's ready for it?
Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. I'm joined as always by my co-host and brother Bill. How you doing? I'm
doing good, man. It's your favorite cousin's favorite cousin. I'm over here lighting up blunts and smoking up joints. Come back. I'm over here doing my best thing, and also we're doing this right after having done a podcast with the 9 Nerd Yards on the Idol. Go over there, check that out right now. We had to do this right after because I needed a palate cleanser. Go check that out right now. So I'm doing good, but I could be doing much better.
Yeah, man. We did just get done talking about The Idol, the Weekend Sam Levinson HBO series.
Train wreck. Series.
Yeah, it's definitely in the zeitgeist. People are talking about it for good or for ill.
For better or for bad. For worse or for worse.
Yeah. Me personally, I'm tip top, never better, best day of my life.
Oh, I didn't ask you how you was doing. My bad.
Hey, no, it's no problem. No
Alex,
problem.
didn't nobody ask you how you was doing?
For you guys, please like and subscribe. It's not required, but if you don't, you will not be invited to the cookout. Today we are talking about the HBO hit comedy series, The Righteous Gemstones, Season 3, Episode 3, For the Nakedness is Your Own Nakedness. We had a lot of fun talking about this series last season. So excited to jump back into it. Episode 3. Before we get into the nitty gritty, what were your initial thoughts on this episode? Did you feel like it was a nice continuation of the story? Did you like how the characters have been developed? What did you think of this episode of The Righteous Gemstones?
There will be a payday. There will be a payday. Or what was it? There will come a payday.
There will come a payday someday.
Someday there will come payday. There will come payday. There will come payday someday. Someday. God damn, man. Uncle Baby Billy setting it off at the very beginning. Very first thing we see in the episode. Loving it. So, yeah, this whole episode could have been terrible right after this, but I absolutely loved everything that happened at the beginning, so I knew I was going to love the rest of it. I mean, it was just great. One thing I did like about this episode was the development of a lot of the characters. Like, we're getting a lot of good story here. And unlike some other shitty shows that are on this same streaming service that I'm not going to talk about any further.
Will not be named.
That is kind of refreshing. And we know that this is not going to be ended in 5 episodes. So
yeah, they're not going to cut this one off early for sure.
Right. So yeah, I'm loving that what we're getting right now is like a real taste of where this series is going.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the reintroduction of Uncle Baby Billy, which was nice. Now a resident performer at the Zion's Landing, which was the Christian, resort that is in Florida that they developed in the last season.
Thanks to Eric Andre.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Eric Andre's character last year. Eric Andre. Shout out to Eric Andre. And Uncle Baby Billy, he confides to his pregnant wife, Tiffany. Aunt Tiffany. That he feels that his fame is stagnating, and that the dreams of becoming a television personality is starting to come out of him. He's like, oh wait, what if I was a talk show host?
He's looking at TV randomly and just like, that's what I need right there. Need me a game show. Like, I thought he was just gonna say a TV
Uncle
show
Baby Billy.
or a talk show. No, this nigga's just straight up wants to just do a game show. And then I was like, he's just biting what he's seeing on TV. Yeah, man, I just, fucking Lionel is the one that also probably gets the most love right here. Cousin Lionel sitting around eating everything on the floor, like whatever they got this kid eating, whatever it's actually made out of, we got to figure it out. But yeah, Uncle Baby Billy is my favorite part of every episode in this show. So more Uncle Baby Billy, the better. And try to say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, I actually, when the cousin Lionel was eating the dirt or whatever, it kind of reminded me of elementary school where they had the worms and dirt, where they had like a plant pot full of ground up Oreos. So it looked like the dirt with the white spots.
I remember that. I remember that.
That
was ice cream, right? You're right, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. You probably just said that. I wasn't listening.
No. It's weird. Like, thinking back, it's like, damn, these elementary school teachers went above and beyond to make us excited about eating dirt. We get the introduction of Uncle Baby Billy, and he confides in his wife that he wants to be a game show host in the era of Family Feud.
He just completely bites the whole thing too. It's crazy.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of, we've been talking about Mallrats a lot this year, but it kind of reminded me of Mallrats, where the main character, or the main villain rather, decided he was gonna bite off of what was the game show? Not Family Feud, but
the dating game. The dating game.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna do a refurbished version of that show that people forgot about because it's been 34 years since it's had its last episode.
Yeah, don't nobody care about that. Don't nobody know about that.
But yeah, then later, Nehmeh leaves Chuck and Kurt at the Gemstone compound, much to the younger Gemstones' disgust. But John Goodman Eli, he insists that they have a cousins' night, just so that his kids can sort of bond with the Montgomery kids, and it's very clear that he wants his kids to have a better relationship than him and his siblings. What did you think of this whole situation? Because I personally felt a lot of inside baseball, our mom is very much trying to make sure that we have a better relationship with each other than she'd had with her with her siblings. And I think that's always a thing with people when they have kids. They want their kids to have a better life than they did. So, what did you think of just this whole relationship between the Montgomerys and the Gemstones?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but our mom, she'll never be trying to get me to have a better relationship with you. But I mean, so that just speaks to what she'd be trying to explain to you. That's you. She's trying to get you to figure out a way to have a better relationship. You're the one with relationship issues. So that's the first thing I think you told on yourself. And then the second thing I think is, I don't think that Eli was necessarily trying to get them to have a better relationship with his family. I think he was forced into it. He running out after his sister, like, yo, Nehmeh, you gotta take these goddamn kids with you, bitch. Like, you better, what's wrong with you? Why do you think I need your kids? Like, no, you need your kids. So I feel like it's more so he feels guilt-ridden to death over whatever it is that Nehmeh attacked his wife over in the first place.
Right. When
we don't even know what that
will
is.
get revealed later. Yeah.
Maybe it's because they basically helped shut down his dad's church, which is probably what was Nehmeh's living.
Yeah, we do find out that Nehmeh is living in an abandoned church, and Eli finds out, and from Lucas Haas, who is hands down the worst actor in this season, but he finds out that Nehmeh, their mom, is living in an abandoned church, so he goes to check up on her, and they end up having this really sweet scene where they're cleaning up the church at the end, which I thought was nice.
Let me tell you something. That's probably the most touching and boring part of this show ever. Like the most boring shit that's ever happened on this show. I was like, I hope that's really. I feel like it's gonna pay off in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a break from the negativity that's usually taking place. Mm-hmm. But that has to ramp up soon because this is just this show.
I did think that it was interesting that the episode didn't end on like a cliffhanger-y, like crazy moment. It's like, oh, I got to see what happens next episode. Because episode kind of ended with everybody on a happy note,
galvanizing. I think that's what the point of this episode was: is to galvanize both sides of the family so that they can be together when a true threat comes to the family. The devil.
Absolutely. Satan. I actually want to get into
Satan
that a little bit. I want to get into that a little bit later because I got some theories about everything that's going down.
Thurs. But everybody thurs. I got thurs. I got lots of thurs.
But we got our burps. We got ourselves a cousin night on this episode.
And cousins night don't mean what you think it means. People who are not from the South. You nasty motherfuckers.
Yeah, cousin night just means actually hanging out. It's so funny. It's weird. When they said this, I was like, we were actually planning a cousins night a couple months ago.
I'm still planning a cousins night. Like, I still want to have a cousins weekend, like where we have a whole bunch of cousins over in LA. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real Southern thing, is have a cousins night. But I thought it was interesting. Just in this, again, I'm not sure how much our mom has talked to you about this, but because of everybody has touch and go relationships with their family. As you get older, things get harder, and every parent, every good parent wants a better life for their children. So it makes sense that Eli Gemstone would want. It's like, I had a very crazy relationship with my sister, and we haven't even figured out how crazy it was. It makes sense to reason that he will want his kids to have a better relationship with them. And I thought that scene was shot so beautifully, where they were at the pond, and he is like across the pond from the kids, and they're talking to him about the Montgomerys. That was a really beautifully shot scene, and is interesting character development for Eli, where he's like, y'all really need to take care of your cousins. Y'all gonna regret it later if y'all don't.
Well, they told him fuck you on that shit. and later we see the two Montgomery brothers walking around the compound, and they slip up on the monster truck that we saw,
the Redeemer
piece of in the first episode, the second episode.
I think it was the second episode.
The Redeemer. Yeah, the Redeemer is not sold or junkyarded. It is in storage with a bunch of limbos and doesn't even get used anymore. But the Montgomery brothers are so excited to see it, they just want to see Jesse ride around in it. Maybe let them drive around in it. But Jesse catches them, and he's like, fuck no, you can't ride around in my monster truck. Get the fuck out of it. I was like, God damn, Jesse is a dickhead. And I love this outfit that Jesse was wearing in this episode. I'm so sorry we can't bring it up on this podcast. But, let me just tell you, the way he's be strutting around, like, it is the funniest shit. Like, he doesn't really get a lot of lines the last few episodes.
Yeah.
But, like, that strut he uses, like, he's working so hard in every scene. It's hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
I don't consider anybody in this show to be, like, the greatest actor of all time or anything. But the performances that they do are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, the comedic performances are not to be slighted. Like, honestly, Edie Patterson and Danny McBride are and John Goodman are all so incredible on this show. And I've been really liking Robert Oberst, who plays Carl, Lil Carl, who's incredibly big. He's out acting Lucas Haas, in my opinion, in the show. He's got like a really sincere performance. He seems like a really loving, childlike character.
Definitely. He's killing it. Guy who plays Keith, he's still killing it.
Always great. Actor who plays Keith is amazing.
He's still killing it. Shout out to all of them, man. They have liked things on our Instagram page. I just want to say shout out to them. You know, we need to reach out to one of them and try to get them on the show because, like,
absolutely, honestly,
like, we would just love to have y'all on the show because y'all are dope, and they just we feel like the reason we're even covering this is we feel like this is the most underrated production team of possibly all time, but definitely in comedy.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those more underrated comedies. I really love Jody Hill and the way he directs, and Danny McBride. He's like shown that he's a very talented director. And even with like Peacemaker, Jody Hill directed one of the episodes there and showed that he can do great action and emotionality in something outside of this crazy world of rednecks that he seems like he's gotten his niche with like Eastbound and Down and Vice Principals. But yeah, all these actors are really, really great. And then in this I guess you would say the Cousins Night, of course, Uncle Baby Billy, he makes his return. And he's trying to convince the Gemstones that he has this new talk show, which is very Family Feud-ish, and he decides he's going to bring it out at the Cousins Night. What did you think of the actual game show?
When we get, I'm going to go to that after. Well, I'm going to go, but I'm going to go to that, but we got to go to the system. We got to talk about the system.
The system.
But the game show was. What do I think about it? I think it was goddamn Family Feud. Nigga, what are you talking about? It was fucking hilarious, though, how, like, they just start, like, he's asking Bible questions. So, of course, the Gemstones don't know any of these motherfucking questions. Like, the Gemstones kids don't know nothing about the Bible. They get all the questions wrong. And, of course, all the Montgomerys know is the Bible because they live in a damn church.
Yeah. Yeah, they're super Bibled up. They know the Bible up and down, and it's an interesting character moment because we get it's not Eli, Jesse versus Lucas Haas, Lucas Haas's character, and you get to see that Jesse was more of a spoiled sport, which is not surprising to anybody. And we get this sort of fight that breaks out, and then Robert Oberst's character starts choking. What did you think of this scene? Because it kind of seems like everybody kind of this is like the 9/11 event of the Gemstones, where a tragedy happens and then everybody galvanizes around it, and there's like, oh man, we do love each other.
Yeah, it was a Thanksgiving dinner scene, like, without the holiday shit, like right. It wasn't it was Thanksgiving dinner scene without Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah,
it's that heartfelt moment that everybody has together. It's like, oh man, that was cool. You know what? I actually do like you. Why don't you guys come on? Let me give you a ride.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice way to end the episode. Them finally getting along, and we also get the scene. It's kind of culminated with like them getting along and Eli getting along with May is like a nice, sweet moment. It was again, like it just.
But how long will it last?
Yeah, right. With this kind of show, it's not going to last very long. But it was an interesting change where it's usually a cliffhanger situation. But yeah, this is a nice little happy moment.
So we also get a reveal that Jesse has told Amber about the affairs of what's her name? It's not Edie. Her name's not Edie.
I don't remember the actors' names. Edie Patterson.
Yeah,
and
she's
BJ.
been over there fucking Steve. So she takes a package of her program, the system, to our boy BJ. Now that's one of my favorite. That's one of my MVPs for the show. You know what I'm saying? Like he's over here changing his life and becoming a more awesome person while doing so.
Yeah, Tim Baltz, who plays BJ, has been great this whole series.
Need to get him on the show.
We really do. I'm gonna email him. I'm gonna email him tomorrow.
Email everybody. We'll
I'm gonna email Walton Goggins first because that's who I want the most.
Walton Goggins, man. Let me tell you something, Walt. We love you, dog.
We love you, man.
We've been with you from the beginning.
Wally Goggins.
This is just a dick sucking marathon.
Sons of Anarchy.
This sounds like we're really desperate to get these motherfuckers on here. We really don't do this for anybody else. We really have it, but you know what?
Yeah, everybody on this show is like really great. Like it's weird how much of a fan we've become of all of the cast on the show. Like Walton Goggins, Danny McBride, Edie Patterson, even Cassidy Freeman. She's been so great. Like she plays Jesse's wife for all you guys who don't know. She's been incredible on the show, and she's been surprisingly funny because like with this kind of character, you would seem like she would kind of be like just like the hot person who would say like lines.
I'm glad that you said that because you kind of definitely took this completely out of what I was talking about. I'm glad you brought it back to her because she brought the system over to BJ, and BJ was like, damn, what's going on? I like this little program. Like, I don't think we need it, but it does seem nice. And Edie comes home and she was not having it. She was not having no relationship system in her house. I think it could have helped them. Like, go ahead and use it. Like, hey, look, we don't need this, but let's just try it. Let's see what they got going on. Let's see. BJ wouldn't have thought anything suspicious, but like the fact that she like overreacted and acted all crazy, I think that's gonna be well. It didn't even make BJ any more suspicious either. So I don't know what the fuck.
Right, because BJ's a dum dum, and yeah, like it was definitely seemed very suspicious when she was like anybody would just be like, oh, maybe we could use this, maybe it could help our relationship, but she was way too protesting against the whole situation, which made it that much more
hilarious.
Oh, yeah, well, both. So I'm very curious to see how that's all going to develop at the end of the season. But I'm kind of curious before we wrap everything up on this episode. I was kind of curious who you thought was the person who ratted out the compound, because there's this kind of overbearing mystery of who ratted out the compound and who sent the feds, who snitched to the feds. Who do you think it was?
I think it was the dad, Mr. Montgomery.
Oh, I thought the same thing.
He's gonna have been the one that called the cops, snitching to the feds because he didn't want to go back to prison.
Yeah, I thought the same thing because he was one of the few people who made it out. And yeah, I think it would be a very interesting twist if Daddy Montgomery turned out to be the snitch. And also Steve Zahn. He's a pretty big actor. Not huge, but he's like, you don't hire Steve Zahn to just be in like 3 episodes at the beginning.
I don't think they do. Some people might, but I don't think that they do for this.
Right. They have too much respect for Steve.
I think we're going to see him. Just, to my point, this is what, the 4th episode?
Yeah.
I think this is definitely going to have more develop. Like, this was a quick introduction of their other side of their family, and we got it only in 4 episodes. I mean, that was a beautiful telling, and they've already become back together. They're already homies. You know what I'm saying? There's other shows that have had 4 episodes on the same network that you still don't know what the fuck the show is about.
That is true.
So
that is true.
And then they only got 1 episode left to tell their story, and this has like 9 more episodes left to tell their story. So I think we're in for a amazing tale.
Yeah.
Unlike the other shows on this very same network.
Titles will not be named. But yeah, I feel the same way. Like the way that this show has been developing the characters, and just the way that this show ended was very, I don't know. I just want to say it's brave, because it's not trying to get you, like, oh, you have to watch the next episode. This almost feels very complete as an episode where all the characters are getting along. Everything that you wanted from the first episode of the first season is like, I kind of just want these family members to get along for once.
Yeah, but like Amber and Edie's character, Judy,
yeah, yes.
Amber and Judy,
wait, is Judy like everybody has a biblical name? Is Judy like a female Judas?
I don't know. Nigga, Judy's probably in the Bible. I don't know. I don't read enough of the Bible for you to be asking me Bible questions, nigga. Google that shit, nigga. I don't know. You got a whole computer in front of you, man. I don't know what the fuck. Anyway, it's probably Irish. I don't know. Fucking. Why you say stuff? Why your voice sound weird? Anyway, that's the warrior. It's coming up. Anyway, Amber and Judy kind of reconcile, even though like Judy was mad about her sending the thing over. She was like, "You coming to cousin's night?" It's like, "Yeah, I'll be there."
It's like, duh.
Yeah, so like, I think that this whole episode was about everybody reconciling, a family coming together because of what's going to be coming up down the road. Like I said earlier, I think they're preparing themselves, so they had to galvanize for what's coming down. It's going to be rough coming up. It's going to be coming up. It's going to be rough. We might not even know. We didn't even get introduced to, when did we get introduced to Eric Andre's character? Like the 4th or 5th episode, something like that last season.
It was pretty early on. I think it was like 3rd episode.
3rd or 4th episode.
But it was also very like benign. Like we didn't think that he was anything other than like a resort investor.
Right. And then they didn't start bringing him back in heavy until the last few episodes. So I'm assuming that we're going to see something similar to that.
Yeah, because we did get the introduction of.
So what I mean is, like, when I say similar, I mean I don't think that the dad is the big bad. I think there's going to be something else.
Well, yeah, we did get the introduction of Shea Wiggum's character. I think his name was Dusty.
Buckham Low.
Taking my way, toys. And then we got the introduction of Stephen Dorff's character with his family. And
so he might be the real big bad.
Sesslinger.
Right.
So yeah, either one of those guys could be like more nefarious than the threat that they've come up against. But we got a lot of episodes left, so who knows where this crazy story is going to go.
Right. Well, you know that they said that, to your point, the guy who was leaving, the race car driver who was leaving the church, he needed them to be more family oriented, and maybe this is what it takes for them to get back some of the congregation.
Right. Yeah, because now
show
they're
them that, look, they actually went and forgave their other family members and took out, and were able to get over their differences and become a family.
Yeah, like, and to your point, I think like the next episode is going to be them showcasing how they're more unified as a family, and then the episode after that, or maybe even like the third act of this next episode, we'll start to see like the columns crumbling down. It's like, oh, now you guys seem like you're a solid foundation, and now we're gonna tear you down from your past and everything that's happened in the background. Because I'm very curious to see what happened with Nehmeh. She seems like she should be in traction even today.
Yeah, she got hit by a goddamn car. She should be walking with a limp or something at the very least.
Yeah, she should not be able to fuck no more or something. I'm very curious to see what happens at the end of that story. But do you have any final thoughts on this episode before we get out of here?
Chew your food, guys. Chew your food.
Chew your food.
Old dude was just out here stuffing his face, not even chewing. So he was eating Homer Simpson style. So y'all be careful. Chew your food. Choking on food is real. And the Heimlich maneuver will save your life.
Yeah. Yeah, Heimlich maneuver will save your life unless you're like 6'4", 350 pounds.
You're supposed to jump onto the back of a chair.
Facts. Yeah. I also enjoyed this episode. A lot of things to like. Edie Patterson is always the MVP of the episode. But guys, thank you for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every once in a while, so go ahead and leave a like and subscribe so you can get updates on new videos. Check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Twitter, IG, TikTok, likewise, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little redeemers.
Right there. Subscribe.
May the force be with you.